What's up, humans of the cardboard? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. I'm so sorry. My microphone just for some reason was not being read by OBS, so I literally just recorded this video going through all the Blackwing cards. We're going to do it again, so I already know what all these cards do, but it'll make it hopefully a little smoother at least, to say the least. But let's get through this. We got 10 new cards for Blackwings. This is super, super hype. We knew as soon as we got Blackwing, or Darkwing Blast as the name revealed for the set, it was going to end up being Blackwing support. Hopefully it ends up being good, but you'll see. Okay, first up here we have the cover art guys, our new boss monster. This is Black-Winged Assault Dragon. He's a level 10 Dark Dragon Synchro. He takes a Tuner Synchro and one or more non-tuners. This card can only be special summoned by Synchro Summon or the following method. You could special summon this card from the extract by banishing a Tuner Synchro and a Blackwing Dragon from your field or graveyard. That's the best part, is that you can kind of just cheat this out, kind of like ABC Dragon Buster. It's just put the materials in grave and you can just banish them to summon this guy. I will take that all day, even if he isn't that good. Like being able to just drop a big body on the field at the cost of just synchro climbing anyway is pretty good. Okay, there's two other effects as well. Each time your opponent's monster activates its effect, place one black feather counter on this card and inflict 700 damage to your opponent. This is actually not terrible. I mean, we already see that like Masquerade Dragon's already doing something pretty good. I mean, this is only 700, so they have to activate a lot of effects, and it's only monster effects, not any effect, but still. And the second effect, during your opponent's turns, this will be a quick effect. You can tribute this card with 4 or more black feather counters as cost to destroy all cards on the field. That's pretty good. It does kind of put your opponent on notice that they have to respond to this card prior to activating 4 monster effects, which does kind of could be a thing. You know what I mean? Could be something dangerous for them. And then finally, he's actually 3,200 attack, 2,800 defense, so pretty beefy anyway, which I like. So honestly, pretty good card. And I honestly think it's pretty good just for the sole fact that you're already going to be synchro climbing, probably with some tuner synchros and stuff, and then you just end your turn by banishing them all from grave and summoning this guy. In fact, that could help you even potentially play through Nib, right? You just try to pass turn, your opponent says, I have to Nib him here, and then you get to go back, you get to continue your main phase 2, or main phase 1 if you're going first, and just go, boom, drop a Blackwing Assault Dragon. It's something, it's not nothing, we'll take it, for sure. Alright, next up here we have Borealis of the Demon Wind. Very cool artwork on him. He almost reminds me of like a Blackwing / Metal Foes looking monster. Very cool. He's a level 6 Synchro tuner. Synchro tuner, so this is the Synchro tuner that's probably going to come up for the other guy. This is a dark level 6, 2400 attack, 1200 defense. He takes a dark tuner specifically, and then any non-tuner monsters as well. You can only use the first and second effects once per turn. When this card is synchro summoned, you can send a Blackwing monster from your deck to the graveyard. That's pretty good for stuff like Zephyros the Elite. This card's level becomes the same level as that monster, by the way, so keep that in mind. You get to modify your level and potentially send something that really wants to be in grave. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can banish one Blackwing monster from your graveyard or face up on your field to special summon the destroyed monster to your field in face-up defense position. I don't know how often this will come up. You're probably not even leaving this guy in the field in a lot of situations. You're using him to synchro up. But theoretically, it could come up to just take a DPE off your opponent's out of your opponent's graveyard or something. But I don't know. Like it's weird, but it works. Mainly the first effect and the fact that he's modifying levels. He's helping you synchro climb up, send stuff like Zephyros the Elite and any other really good stuff you want in grave. That's mainly what I'm looking for. Next up here we have Blackwing, the Unreliable Vata. I love this guy's design. He almost just looks like a dad, but I guess he's supposed to be like a mob boss looking dude, but for Blackwings. Very funny. He's a level 2 Wing Beast Tuner. 800 attack, 0 defense. If you control a Blackwing monster except for himself, you can special summon this card from the hand, and you can only do that effect once per turn. Very cool. Simple Blackwing extension. During your main phase, you can send this card you control and one non-tuner Blackwing from your deck, whose total level becomes 8, and if you do, special summon one Blackwinged Dragon from your extra deck. For the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck, except for dark monsters. So this card is kind of weird. It's probably going to read kind of funny. I guess the idea would just be, listen, This card on field means that you get to Foolish, if you can just put this guy on field, and he extends himself as well, he Foolish Burials a level 6, because you're sending him and something else, and I guess the idea is their total levels need to equal 8, so you're sending a 6 with him, which I think there's a level 6 later on. So you're Foolish Burialing a level 6 and trading him in for a beater in the form of Blackwing Dragon, but also just a level 8, so you're just kind of jumping up in level to make it much easier to kind of extend. Which is actually pretty good. So we will take that. This guy's actually really, really good. I think he's one of the better cards of the support. I like him a lot. Next up here, we have Blackwing Chamorro of the Sandstorm. I love his artwork. He just doesn't even really look like a Blackwing card, but I love it. He's a Wing Beast tuner, also still a tuner. Effect monster, 1600 attack. You can only use each effect once per turn. Send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard as cost, and then you can place one Black Whirlwind from your deck into your Spell and Trap Zone face up. So this card literally just fetches Black Whirlwind. That is awesome to see. We have been needing more and more cards that just get us access to Black Whirlwind. This is 3 more. In fact, there's another card that can Rota for this, which means, you know, essentially 6 more and maybe even more than that. Really cool. Also, if this card is in your graveyard when a Blackwing Synchro monster or Blackwing Dragon is special summoned, you can banish this card to target a Blackwing monster in grave, add it to your hand, and you will take 700 damage. I love that. That's so good. I mean, you're probably going to put this guy in graveyard at the beginning of your turn just to get access to Whirlwind, and then as soon as you make your first Synchro summon, you're just like, or even later on, just get back the best follow-up play you can. I love that. I love decks that not only set up a good amount of interruptions, but also guarantee follow-up on later turns. I think this card's awesome. This card's really good. Okay, next one is Chinook, the Snow Striker. This might be the single best card here. Well, maybe not the single best card, but in conjunction with everything, this card is going to be really nice for the archetype. It's a level 2 Winged Beast, 100 attack, 700 defense, so it's very low attack. So off of Black Whirlwind, this can be searched off of pretty much any normal summon. Very good. Here's what it reads. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target a face-up monster your opponent controls. Send a Blackwing Synchro or Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck to the graveyard. Until the end of this turn, that target loses 700 attack. Also, its effects are negated. This is a quick effect if you control a dark Synchro monster, and it's a hard once per turn. So essentially, this card just becomes impermanent in the deck. Also, don't even forget that, like, this effect, like, doesn't require you to have a Blackwing on the field at all. Only a Dark Synchro if you want it to be a quick effect. But even going second, this just becomes like an inherent card you play in your engine that is just a solid going second card anyway. Because you just play into a board and you just start your turn by going pitch Chinook, target DPE, target Griffin Rider, target Baronne de Fleur, whatever interruption you're worried about most, you're either baiting an interruption early or just completely neutralizing it out the gate. That's actually really good. And then obviously as an interruption, turn 1 setups, being able to search this card to hand super easily now in the deck and end on a Dark Synchro means that you just have an imperm, a deck that searches an in-archetype imperm. It's really, really solid. I like this card a lot. This card will be super, super good. It's a 2 of, maybe even a 3 of for the deck. Really solid. Next up we have Uzuri, the Phantom Gleam. Dark level 4 Winged Beast effect monster, 14 for the stats, so not huge, but like decent enough for Black Whirlwind purposes. When this card is normal summon, you can add 1 card that mentions Blackwing Dragon from your deck to your hand. Yes, sir. Also, wait, one more thing I didn't mention is this card, when it does the negate, it Foolish Burials a Blackwing Synchro or Blackwing Dragon. As we saw with the new boss monster, that card is needs to banish a level, is it levels? No, I think it just needs to banish any Blackwing plus Blackwing Dragon. So literally going second, you go pitch this card to send Blackwing Dragon, and obviously it ends up in grave. And then you could just immediately banish those both to summon the new big guy into a board that you've already negated something on. And now you have a 3200 beater. I'm just saying. That's sweet. Okay, here we go. Second effect of this. Okay, first effect is awesome because almost every card we've seen here so far, he's searching. He searches the new Hand Trap Girl. He searches some of the other ones. So on and so forth. But really good. Also, second effect, you contribute a monster you control, special summon a Phantom Gleam token. It'll be a Winged Beast tuner, level 2, to your field, then take 700 damage. You can only summon Synchro monsters during the turn you activated this effect. from the extra deck, so you are hard locked into synchros for the entire turn. Keep that in mind. Some plays, I'm sure that won't matter, but sometimes it will. So just keep that in mind. But if you're giving up a monster to get a tuner, I guess that could matter in certain situations, but it just depends. That would make this guy and any monster on your field, getting you into the level 6 synchro, he Foolish Burial something, you're able to extend, like, it's decent. Alright, I think this is the last main deck monster. This is Zonda the Cutting Knight, a dark level 6 winged beast effect monster, 2300 attack, 900 defense. You can only special summon synchro monsters from the extra deck. I believe that is like an on-field effect, so while he's on the field, he is locking your next summons into synchros, but once you get him off the field, you can go into other stuff. You can only use the first of the following effects of him once per turn, and only once that turn, so you cannot use both in the same turn. Keep that in mind. Alright, second effect. If this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can target a monster on the field and return it to the hand. That's already not bad. I don't know exactly how you're summoning him, but if you can summon him, cool. I think the one thing I think we're missing so far is a way to quick effect summon from grave or something, because if you could just set up a quick effect monster reborn, summon this on the opponent's turn and get a bounce, like, that's pretty dang good, but still a decent effect that you can probably trigger fairly easily. Third effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard as cost to special summon a level 5 or higher Blackwing monster from your hand or deck, then take damage equal to the attack of that special summoned monster. That is really good. No, it does not negate the monster you summon. It does not hinder you in any other way. This is a really powerful effect. Keep in mind you can only do one of these per turn out of those second and third effects, so you can't get the bounce and the whatever summon from deck. But still, I mean, the fact that this could be your level 6 target to be sending with the level 6 synchro just to get this guy in grave, as well as the level 2 tuner getting this guy to grave. The deck has a ton of extension tools now. This card seems pretty solid, honestly. I really like it. And also, this is when he banishes himself, it also opens up for potential plays with stuff like Auster. If you don't remember Auster, a card that already exists, it's a Blackwing that when it's normal summoned, it can just summon any Blackwing that's banished. I don't know if it's level 4 or lower, though. That's the one thing, but if it's not, then that means that that card literally just summons this guy, and you can immediately make a 10, which would be the Full Armor Master, which is like the Towers monster, or whatever else, but really good. Alright, then we're going to finish up with the spells and traps. The spell here is Black Feather Gust. It's a continuous spell. Once per turn, when you special summon a synchro monster from your extra deck, you can target a Blackwing Dragon or Blackwing monster with lower attack than that monster from your graveyard or banish zone and special summon it. That's a little weird because we have multiple ways to be able to send Blackwing Dragon just straight from the extra deck, so he wouldn't even be a legal target to special summon back anyway, so kind of depends, but okay, not a terrible extension effect. And once per turn, if a dark monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove a Blackwing counter from your field instead. So just a nice protection effect. I think that's supposed to be Black Feather counter, so it would be the same counters that your level 10 guy places on the field, so extra protection there is kind of cool. I don't know how realistically good this card is. It seems like it kind of needs a good hand to even be good anyway. It's not making bad hands playable, it's making good hands great. You know, then you get into a bunch of philosophy on on like deck building with this card, but whatever, it's fine. Moving on, we have a trap card here. This is Blackwing Twin Shadow. You can only activate one copy of this card per turn. If you control 2 or more Blackwing monsters, you can actually activate this from the hand. Very cool. Return 1 Blackwing Tuner and 1 Blackwing non-tuner monster from your graveyard or banished back to your deck or extra deck to special summon a Blackwing Synchro or Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck with level equal to the total of those 2 monsters, treating it as a Synchro summon. This is pretty interesting. I don't know off the top of my head if I can think of a Blackwing monster Synchro that like has a removal effect or something on summon. That would be the coolest thing with this, because this would be like a searchable card that allows you to pretty much just like Miracle Fusion or Necro Fusion on the opponent's turn to just do like a quick, easy into a big Blackwing boss monster that's an interruption, like on summon, bounce a card, pop a card, whatever it is. That would be particularly good. I just don't know off the top of my head if they have access to a monster like that. If they do, this card's really cool. If not, this card just kind of feels a little bit awkward. Like, what are you really doing with this? But, you know, I think it has potential for sure, especially since you can activate it from hand if you're ending on multiple Blackwing. So we'll take it. That means even in the turn you search it, you can activate it to extend. So even in that instance, it could be a decent extender. So you might still play it. And the last card I think we have here is a counter trap. This card is Black Noble. You can only use one effect of this card once per turn. When a spell or trap card is activated, you can remove a black feather counter from your field, negate that effect, and destroy it. And if you have a Blackwing Dragon, if you control a Blackwing Dragon, you can set this card from the graveyard to your field, but banish it when it leaves the field. This card's a little bit wonky to me. I kind of just wish this card said if you control a Blackwing, even a Blackwing Synchro, I would have taken that. Negate a spell or trap. Also doesn't negate monsters. We know monsters are the most powerful cards in the game, so it's still good. Negating spells is very good. Negating traps can be good in certain matchups, but monsters are the most important thing to negate. Not a bad card regardless, but it does kind of force you to play that new Synchro. I just think it gets a little awkward. I could easily see scenarios where that Synchro needing your opponent to activate monster effects to start placing black feather counters. To even make him live for an interruption and this card live means if your opponent has a spell card that like baits one of these things, they can just like beat your entire board if that's really your main sources of interruption. So a little bit worried about that. Again, I don't know exactly how you're going to end on it perfectly, but I wish this didn't rely on the black feather counters, to be honest. But all in all, you can't hate it. I think this card is searchable. This card is searchable. This card is searchable. This card does not look like it lists Blackwing Dragon in it, so he's not searchable. This one is searchable, searchable, and then these are extra deck monsters. So like literally every card except for this guy is searchable by this new normal summon. I think this does a great job at kind of solidifying the archetype. They've got a new normal summon. I think they've got many good extension plays, which is huge. That's definitely something huge the deck was missing. It looks like they still might have the same weakness of if you like pop their first normal summon, they could be in a lot of trouble. I'm not entirely sure where we go from there with that. But other than that weakness, I really think that this deck looks like it could be a legit rogue deck. Meta, I don't know about that just yet. I'd have to see what people do to try and like, you know, really combine everything and make the best list they can. But I certainly think there's potential here, and I'm really excited to see what people come up with and to get in the lab and test this stuff out. So really cool there. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe if you have not yet and you want to see more stuff from me down the line, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.